Everyone good with that? Okay, all right. So we'll move on then to our first item in new business. And I need a motion to accept the bid from First State Community Bank for a 10-year lease purchase agreement at the rate of 2.95% to be paid in annual installments.
Motion.
Thank you, Rob and Beth. Okay, discussion or more details?
Well,
I mean, we put most of the detail in the spreadsheet. The one thing I thought probably I need to explain a little better as far as the prepayment penalties and the Clayton Holdings ones,
Okay.
because they do have better interest rates. The prepayment penalty isn't just triggered if we want to prepay, but if we sell a piece of the land, that triggers it as well. So, and knowing that, you know, is a possibility with the fire department, that's important for us.
Oh, and that was a fairly substantial fee?
3%. 3% year
Yeah.
one of the outstanding principal. And
Yeah.
I didn't put those details, but if you
Right.
look at,
But that could be,
yeah,
Well,
very substantial.
that would be, what, 15,000 or something?
17 on the whole amount.
The issue, as you look at those, because our initial thought process, we're like, wow, that rate's 2.86. The two items in red are the apples to apples version, monthly payment versus monthly payment. Is even though, if you look at that one there and you're just paying monthly, you would go with option 3, potentially, because it's about $3,000 less in total interest. The issue is we're recommending the annual payment from First Community is by paying it one lump sum, is while it's a higher rate, you actually pay $7,000 less in interest if you go the full 10 years, because you're paying it up front rather than paying it monthly and that interest is accruing.
Okay.
And then the catch being with the Clayton Holdings, even though it's a lesser than interest, their way to kind of make up the difference is they're locking you into, like, we're getting our money, either you're paying the full amortization table and we're going to get the full 89,000, or if you pay it off early to save interest, we're going to hit you with a prepayment penalty to recoup some of that interest.
So like, in other words, if for instance, if we prepaid, I don't know, everything in the second year, the interest would be like hugely less, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, in one way you could kind of look at it is, look at the Clayton Holdings option 1, which is a 5-year note, but then you're locking into the $10,000 payment. But you can see the actual interest was $38,000.
Yeah, and, I mean, that, to me, like, you know, a $15,000 penalty would be nothing if you have 38K, because you're still saving 40K in interest,
But you can still do that with First State, is even though it's a little bit higher interest, the flexibility to prepay,
right.
to not,
Yeah, I see that.
is we're gonna probably, as long as we pay it off sooner, you net out better. It gives us much more flexibility, while also the annual payment of $67,000 is negligible as far as, I mean, it's $67,000, but it's a lot different than locking into $125,000. We can still pay $125,000 if the budget's like, hey, we have the money, we see this, let's pay it off sooner. But you don't have to. It's not like, oh, we have that liability. It's still keeping the flexibility.
Yeah, I guess my question would be, the crunchy bits is, if we did, for instance, pay the rate that the 5-year thing on the Clayton one is, what would be the interest, do you know? Do you have any clue? I don't know.
What do you mean? What?
Like, if we prepaid, like, double, basically, what they required on the community one.
Oh, I mean, it'd just be a matter of running a holding amortization.
Yeah, I know, and I'm just curious,
Yeah, I didn't-
would it be anywhere in the ballpark, or would it be like, you know what
Well,
I'm
I mean,
saying?
it's-
I'm curious just because, if we, having the flexibility to prepay, how much we pay for that, I guess is what I'm saying. You know, are we saving a ton by if we locked ourselves into a higher monthly payment? If it's not a ton, you know, I'd say go flexible, I'm just wondering,
Well,
I
I guess I'm missing. Restate your question.
okay, so for instance, if we paid 125K, that we would be paying under the Clayton option. Okay, and that interest is absolutely the lowest on this, it's
Mhm.
40,000, and well, 38. And so, if we paid 125 on the community one, and, you know, basically it wasn't accruing nearly as quickly, then we'd get it done in half the time, I guess.
What would that interest look like?
Yeah, what would the interest
Would
payments
it be the
total
full
like?
92,000 or would
No.
it be?
Well,
Right, it wouldn't be.
Well, it wouldn't be, but
Right.
would it be anywhere near that 38? Because, you know, what are we basically paying for the flexibility? That's my question.
Sure. So, 2.9,
I should bring I usually bring my calculator.
so I'm doing a rough,
Sounds like you just know.
I just want to make sure. Getting the right amortization table. The one thing that's going to make this a little wonky is the fact that the prepayment, I'm trying to use like a bankrate.com, is it's not set up to throw an annual amount, which will shake that whole amortization. It'll be like, hey, you're adding $50 to your mortgage.
Sorry, I just feel like the question, you know, I mean, like I said, if it was like a 20,000 difference, well, that's more than the payment penalty, actually. You know, if it's like only a 10,000 difference, then we're actually getting something for the flexibility. Not to put too on the board.
No, you lost me. If-
I'm saying like if we prepaid at the rate on the Clayton one, or if we paid at the rate on the Clayton one, for instance, and that 38,000 would be only like 10,000 less than what we would save if we paid at the same rate under the other plan?
I hear what you're saying, now I know what I'm trying to find.
But we're paying like $30,000 for flexibility when not being flexible only costs us 15.
Yeah.
Not as impressive.
Simple loan.
What did you?
I'm just
that was
talking
on
to
top.
him, yeah.
Just
Okay,
there you go,
good.
shaking my back.
All right, so loan amount, I'm putting this into a spreadsheet, 590, minus 590. At 2.95. The total,
Looks like 37.7 maybe?
36.
I'm
Oh,
showing
no,
a
a little
monthly-
more, maybe it was 30.
again, this is an Excel program of simple loan calculator, putting 590 in, amortizing it for a 5-year thing, so your payment monthly would be 10,588 times 12 is probably about $125,000.
That sounds about right.
The total interest paid there would be $45,305.
Okay. Yeah, okay. That's, yeah, I'd say go with the Commerce Center. I wanted that information to be doubly sure. I didn't know how to get
Commerce or
scientific.
First State?
With
There's
Commerce?
Commerce.
Oh, no, no,
First
yeah, with
State.
the First Community.
Okay.
Because, I mean, we're only talking a difference of, what,
Yeah.
$7,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's way less than the payment penalty. So,
Yeah.
like I said, if it was like triple that, I mean.
Sure, that makes, well, that's what we looked at was in year one, it's 17,000. you gotta have a big gap in interest in there. That's what, they went at the lower rate, but they were making sure you're in it a longer period of time and you're exposed to it. That was.
Okay, so the motion then is to, is to accept the bid from First State, and that was what we agreed to at the beginning, correct? Okay, any other questions?
And are we going with option one or option two? Or what did you guys say, two? Okay, yeah.
The recommendation. Okay, so all in favor of accepting the bid? No, we're
No, we're in open
Oh, we're in
session.
open- okay, you're right, I'm sorry. That's okay. Okay, so all in favor of accepting the bid from First State Community Bank? Okay, motion carries, thank you. Okay, the last item then is, we need a motion to approve the hiring of a full-time bus aide / cafeteria staff member to be compensated on the paraprofessional salary schedule.
Make a motion.
Thank you, Angie, and a second. Okay, any questions or discussion about that particular position? This is a brand new one.
I guess I was just on, is it for one child or?
Yeah, we have a student that has medical needs, and we've been providing that for the past year and a half. We've been using some staff, but it's, last year, there was a lot of back and forth scheduling that Janelle and I actually had to write, I guess, on multiple occasions. So it's like we gotta try to figure out a solution to that piece of it. We asked for one kid to have a medical condition.
But they're also gonna be in the cafeteria during the middle of the day.
We're trying to, and paying it, even when they're in the cafeteria, they're gonna get the paraprofessional wage rather than going to, because it's a unique individual that has to get on the bus in the morning, literally is gonna work at the cafeteria, and there's gonna be downtime in the middle of the day, and then is riding in the afternoon.
Oh, I guess I thought you meant that the person would stay with the child all day. That's
No,
not
this is
it.
just
Busing, the bus for the child, and then working
We're
in the
trying to
cafeteria separately.
fill out some time during the day to make it worth someone's while.
Mhm.
Because that was our issue, they're like, and it's gonna take a unique person, because their day's longer than everybody
Right.
else's.
Yeah, that's hard.
And so we're trying to compensate them.
So
Just
what,
like they're-
what building will they be in then?
The food service one?
Yes,
I want to say the intermediate maybe. I forgot maybe, I don't know. I mean, that may be a possibility there. Not 100% sure on that.
Just basically where they're needed, I guess.
Yeah, it's a part-time one, so
Right.
it's wherever they shift around.
so it's possible they could do other things during the day besides cafeteria service?
Is that in the job description?
Well,
We're creating.
We're
I
creating,
don't know.
no, it's gonna be, and, because it's allowing us not to have a part-time position.
Yeah.
It's kind of filling that role. She's just gonna make more as that. She's been a part-time.
well, I was just thinking downtime, if she's riding the bus in the morning and then they can work in the cafeteria for food prep and serving, and then I don't know what time they leave.
So is the job description all detailed already, or is that not really?
It's a combination of the two job descriptions, is essentially.
I see what you're saying, Lisa, because it's like, what about after the bus, before lunch, what happens?
And that's where she's not, she's literally clocking out and not
Oh,
being paid.
she-
Yeah, she's not here the
oh,
entire
okay.
time.
That's what I'm saying, it's a unique position
Oh.
of, she,
I
her,
thought you just meant it's that long
yeah,
day.
it's kind of like a normal worker going, working 8 to 4, she's like working 8 to 10 or 8 to 1, then's got 2 hours off, and then works
Okay.
3:45 to 6 o'clock or whatever to get the person home.
Wow.
I didn't know they were
That was,
working that.
that's our
Some
rationale.
people take extended lunches.
Yeah, you know, and so you're not paying overtime every
I
day,
see.
because
Okay.
you'd be at, and that was the rationale for, even though going in the food service,
Mhm.
they're kind of taking one for the team on, it's gonna be a unique person that's willing to have a longer day, but have a block that, I'm up here, but I'm not getting paid, or,
They're essentially working a split shift.
Split shift, yeah. That's a great
Yeah,
way to-
because I was just gonna ask about the overtime, but
Yeah.
being a split shift, that's not an issue.
Okay. All right, any other concerns or thoughts? Okay, all in favor then to approve the hiring of a full-time bus aide / cafeteria staff member? Okay, motion carries. And,
Did we say part-time or full-time?
okay, it's full-time.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I heard part.
Okay, if there's nothing else, then I need a motion to adjourn the meeting. Thank you, Renee and Beth. All in favor of adjourn? Very good.